Hello and welcome everybody to a session of Chatting with the Canadians. My name is Alexa. I'm an intern at UNAM Canada, and our guest speaker for today is Jane. Thank you, Jane, for accepting the invitation and welcome.
My pleasure. Lovely to see you.
You too. Jane is an English teacher at UNAM Canada in the PUMA courses that we offer in summer and in winter, and she's also a Spanish student. Today I'll be asking some questions to Jane, and we will be discussing about a topic that is very important for us at this time, which is COVID-19. So, first of all, Jane, how are you doing? Tell us, how do you feel about this situation?
Well, it's a very peculiar situation, isn't it? But I feel personally from day to day that as long as I'm not sick or we're not sick or hungry or without a home, and not as long as we're not facing those kind of situations, the rest is just inconvenience that we have to adapt to the situation and what the sacrifices that we are making, those of us who are well, are very small compared to those of us who aren't in the same situation. So that's what I'm feeling, and I think that makes me cope day to day as well as everybody can.
Okay, sure. Since when have you been working from home?
Well, I guess because I have a couple of jobs, my kind of outside social job stopped around the 11th or 12th of March. And so the work that I've been doing has been from home from that stage because as you probably know in Canada things have been pretty well closed down if it's a non-essential activity on the outside. So since about the middle of March.
Okay. And how is it for you? Is it difficult?
For me personally, not too difficult because I do a lot of work independently. So I'm used to working alone. I'm used to self-motivating, getting going, making a schedule, getting up, being responsible, in fact, for my own schedule. What I miss, of course, is not, for example, being able to go into UNAM and have a hug or a laugh or some jokes with people. That's what that's what those of us who are working in a room miss, I think. But overall, um, it I think other people maybe suffer more from having to work alone if they haven't had the experience of a home office.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And how has your routine changed since then? Personally, you're talking about work.
Yeah. How has it changed? Well, I try to organize myself to get the things done. I'm a list maker, so I make myself lists and I try to accomplish what I have to accomplish during the day. So I've kept a routine. When I get up every day, I get dressed as if I was going to work and I get on with things in the day. Now, there are lots of interruptions that we have to be kind to ourselves as well. There are lots of interruptions that happen. For example, in one of my first days, my internet went down for 4 or 5 hours, and that was like really being on a desert island. But it came back, so we realized how tied we are in a situation like this to be connected with the outside through internet. But
Mm.
overall, it's always difficult. But then, if you're used to a home office as well, it's something that you get used to, differentiating between the weekdays and the weekend. You
Mm-hmm.
know, what is different
Yeah.
between you know between the weekday and the weekend. So that's kind of different. And then, of course, with friends and other members of my family who are not in the same place,
Mm-hmm.
we can't have anything kind of spontaneous. Let's meet for a coffee. Let's go to a film. Of course, all that is out of the question now too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any plans during this pandemic or for after?
Uh, Gosh, it's hard, isn't it, to make
It is.
plans? Yeah, it's hard. In fact, someone said to me, a friend of mine said to me the other day, one of the worst things is, in fact, not having plans canceled, but not being
Mm.
able to kind of project even 2 or 3 months and say, oh, I'd like to take a trip, I'd like to do this, or so on. So my plans are really kind of modest at the moment. I don't see and I don't even feel that when this comes to sort of back to normal, I don't really think I want to travel away. I want to enjoy the parks that are closed around here, or
Okay.
just a regular kind of lifestyle. And then plans for now, it's just really to keep up, keep up with acquaintances, keep up with friends as best as we can, do the little bit of work that there is to do, and um, just the same, try to have a schedule every day, that I think it makes it easier. Uh, yeah. No, I think it's just more the resumption of a normal life and a normal social life of being able to come and go as we like and visit with friends and so on. I think that's the major plan.
Okay. Yeah, I
Hmm.
agree. What
Hmm.
has this situation taught you about yourself or life in general?
Oh, that's a really big question. That's an excellent question. It's a really big one, though. What has it taught me about myself? Well, when you're alone a lot, you have to like yourself. I used to, the times when I was working as a consultant in the past, I used to tell everybody, it's great. I love my boss. Because you have to. When you're alone, you have to, right? You have to be kind to yourself. You have to be
Yeah.
self-compassionate. You have to be nice. So I'm learning and practicing that there are things that I want to do that I can't do, but I can't beat myself up over it, right? I have to be nice to myself. On top of that, because I'm fairly independent, and an autonomous, let's say, learner, a lifelong learner, I'm learning that, or reinforcing the fact that I can find things to do, I can find things to learn. The internet is a fantastic source for doing courses or learning about things. So, I suppose whether we're all learning the same thing, that we have to be able to amuse ourselves, right? There's only so much Netflix that you can watch, so better have some other activities as well. And about life in general, mm, you know, we can't take anything for granted, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. We can't take anything for granted. We can't think that we're going to have everything that we have all the time. So this is a reminder, I think, to all of us that, yeah, what you have one moment might not be what you have the next. So expect the unexpected. And of course, in doing that, then we all should be enjoying what's happening to us every day. We should try to be finding some joy in that and some things that we like, because you never know. I think that's the main thing. The other thing that it's taught me is another something else. There are a lot of people who are working very hard while we're staying home to keep out of trouble.
Mhm.
medical people, but also the role of science and researchers and people who are working very hard all the time that we don't normally pay attention to, who are who are working on cures, who are investigating viruses, who are people who work for the WHO, who are always all over the world whenever there's an epidemic. And there are lots of people out there doing fantastic things that we need to survive and be healthy. It's made me more aware of that, really.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Now talking about English classes. Do you
Uh-huh.
have any advice for English students who are struggling at the moment and that they want to continue learning?
Hmm. Yeah. Um, you know, there are so many resources out there, really and truly. It's fantastic. It's not like we should feel that we're at home without any books, or what can we do to improve. There are so many. UNAM is full of resources. I keep seeing on my feed things coming up, from UNAM about what you can study and what you can do. And for English language learning, the internet has just a wealth of sources of things that you can pick up and learn, courses that you can take. um, I would suggest to kind of narrow it down. If you're studying English and there's something you feel you're not very good at, or you want to learn more about, then really go for it. Look it up. Try and find those areas that can help you to improve a little bit. Um, and use other sources perhaps as well. Take a course in English on a subject that's out of your comfort zone. Science, or something about viruses that you want to read, and have a look at the vocabulary, have a look at the structure, but learn something new, you know. I discovered the other day, because all you kids, you're all on your phones all the time. I discovered the other day, maybe it's new, I don't know, but that on on Google Assistant, you can say, when you're in an article, news feed, which I often have, say, from El País in Spain, I have a news feed. If I say to my Google Assistant, read it, I get the version of the article read to me, and you can even adjust the speed. So imagine an English student maybe is linked into the Guardian, wants to read an article, can listen to it while they're reading it, can just listen to it, not read it, can slow down the speed of the reading of the article to practice pronunciation. There's a multitude of things that you can do. So with the technology that's available, and you guys know all about the technology, so there should be no problem with
Okay. Thank
that.
you,
You were
Jen.
always helping me out. You're always helping me out in class anyway. So
Yeah, of course. Okay, and finally, would you like to say anything to your previous Puma students and those who are watching us from Mexico?
sure, I surely would. First of all my previous students, they know what they should be doing, right? Um, uh, I think they came to Canada, right, and had an experience here, and so they've gone back with a little bit of Canada too that they're responsible for. So they need to take care of that, and they need to practice as much as they can. Um, I hope all my previous students, they're well. I think that's an important thing to think about, that they're well, that they're safe, that their families are well, and that their dogs and cats are well.
Really
Because
important.
in class, it is really important, wasn't it? I mean, one of the first things everybody says, yeah, they miss their families, they miss their dogs and cats, right?
Yes.
And they miss tacos. Well, maybe you can still have nice tacos, huh? But yeah, take care of yourselves. be kind and be kind to yourselves and to each other. And that was something that I always noticed with you guys. So you were very caring and attentive to each other as Pumas. And you had a lot of humor. So keep that up with each other. And, as I said, with technology, you all speak to one another in telephone, sometimes even when you're in the same class. So you can keep up with your friends. So that's it. Keep up with the things that you do best, your caring, your kindness, your humor, and make some efforts to learn some new things. And don't forget us.
Yeah, of course. Well, thank you very much for everything, Jane. And thank you everybody for watching us. Take care and remember to stay home.
Yeah, that's good advice.